We shall start by rolling the shoulders. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Big circles of the shoulders. Make sure we're breathing right down into the belly as well. So big deep breaths. 3, 2, 1. We'll change direction opposite way. Again, big circles all the way around. Three, 2, 1. Drop the head. Big circles all the way to the front and all the way back around. The whole way through that neck. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, hands on the hips, feet shoulder apart. We're going to do a circle the hips. When you get to the front, change direction, bring it back. And back. We're just loosening out the joints here before we move into the muscles. Try and move through those hips as much as we can. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, feet together, bend the knees slightly, and then we're in a little circle with the knees and all the way back around. All the way around, all the way back. Three, 2, and 1. And then the last one, we're going to send out onto the toe, and little circle, and all the way back. We're going to go one more direction. I'm going to swap to the opposite foot. Again, all the way around and all the way back. I circle around and circle back. Four, 3, 2, 1. Okay, grab that band or towel. What we're going to do is we're going to hold it out in front of us. We're going to roll our shoulders back and down. We're going to pull our shoulder blades together and back. So the band should come out a little bit more. It should be a bit of give. If you have a towel, instead of use it, just hold it a little bit wider out. If you want to put a bit more tension onto it, pull them in closer. But we're pulling the elbows back and squeezing them together, squeezing the shoulder blades. Working those back muscles. Four, 3, 2, and 1. What we're going to do now is holding it in front of us as wide as you can, and you're going to bring your arms up and around as far as you can. So don't worry if you get stuck at a certain point. Just go to that point, stay there, bring it back down, and come back up again. If you're going the whole way around, if you can get the whole way around, do. If you can only get to about here, that's okay too. So just nice slow movements the whole way around. The wider you hold your band, the easier this is going to be. Closer together they are, the harder it's going to be. So you want to focus on moving the whole way around and back. Get as much movement through those shoulders as you can. Again, just go to whatever is comfortable for you. If you're finding you're getting to a point and you have to pop your shoulders, go around, just stay at that point as well. So it could be any way along the front. If you can get around, perfect. If you can't, don't worry. Four, three, two, and one more. Okay. So next one, we're going to come down. We're actually hold on. I'm going to grab a chair. Sorry, I need to skip ahead. Grab a chair. And we're going to put one hand on the chair. And we're going to lift our leg out to the side and back. Out to the side and back. Now, we're aiming not to lean into this. That's why we use the chair for stability. If you find you're over here and coming up higher, you want to be as up tall as you can. Lift out, and back. So exhale, lift out, inhale, back in. Just getting ahead of myself slightly, I nearly went to the next exercise. So out, back, out. Four, three, two, one. Drop down, shake the legs out a bit. I'm going to stay on that leg now again, and you're going to lift out and you're going to draw a little circle with your heel. Around again. We don't want to lean forward and back with this. We're up tall, our shoulders are back, and we're moving through our hip joint. You may need to really hold on to the chair. That's okay, that's normal. Change direction. The whole time here. You will probably feel it on the leg you're standing on as well because it's taking your full body weight right now, but that's okay too. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down again. Shake it out. You're going to swap and do the same thing on the opposite side. So if you need to go to the other side of your chair, do. But if you can get enough space when it's staying on the side, you can. And again, we're just going to lift out. Again, we want to keep ourselves as upright as possible. That's why we use the chair for balance. We don't want to be leaning into it. You might find it's hard to balance on one leg. That's okay. Exhale down. Back. Exhale it out. Inhale back in. Three, 2, 1. Let it down, shake it out. And we're going to grab in, or do it again into that circle. Round as much as you can. Again, not leaning either way as we do this. Keep our core engaged. I'm going to change direction the opposite way. Again, if you're feeling this on the leg that's down, that's okay, that's normal. Three, 2, 1, down and shake it out again. Okay. You're going to lift that first leg again, and we're going to push our leg back as far as we can, squeezing our glute, and then engage and bring it as far forward again. Just as far as we can. We don't want to be leaning forward or leaning back. That's why we have our chair for support. We're up and tall the whole time, going forward and back. Go forward. Inhale back. Going as far as we can each side. You might find one is a bit harder than the other, that's okay. I'm going to feel that engagement as we come up here, and I'm feeling it in the back as well. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it down, shake it out, and onto the opposite side. Last one here, we're going forward and back. Again, our upper body should be staying still here. We're using our core to keep that nice and tight. Far forward as we can, and far back as we can. That can be different for everyone. You mightn't get as far back, far forward on one side as well. That's okay. It's normal. Keep breathing the whole time as well. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we'll pop that chair away, and now we're going to come to the mat. So, we're going to lie flat on our back, and we're going to grab our band or towel again and hook it around the back of our foot, or the top of our foot. We'll lie back flat, and we're just going to lift up as high as we can till we get our first area of tension, and we're going to stay there. So you don't want this to hurt. You won't be able to feel it, but it's not going to hurt. The first little tension you get, you're going to stop that, because like you might be able to go way up like this, but if you feel that first band of tension, we wait. After that, we're going to push against it with 30% pressure for 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let the pressure off. Inhale, exhale, try and bring it a little bit closer. Again, just to our next band of tension. Want to keep that knee straight. So we don't want to be up here, but our knees bent. Knee is straight. We're going to hold it there. Again, I'm going to push against it, 30% pressure. 3, 2, 1. We're going to inhale, exhale, pull it again a little bit higher, just as far as you can. Next band of pressure or tension. We're just going to keep it there. And again, we're going to push against it, 30% pressure. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then one last time. Inhale, exhale. And we're just going to hold it there for 10 seconds. And then let it go. Inhale, exhale, let it go. Okay, we're going to bring that foot up again, and we're going to let it fall out to the side just as far as you can, supporting it there with the band. I'm just going to leave it there and hold it there for a few seconds. Just letting that inner thigh loosen out. You can feel this all the way down the inside of the leg. The more you pull that band, as in pull the foot up towards you, the more of a stretch you'll get. So you pull your toe towards your face, you're going to get more of a stretch. And we're going to inhale, exhale, lift it up, and you're going to bring it over to the opposite side now. Again, just letting it fall as close to the ground as you can. You want to intensify the stretch, pull your foot closer to yourself, but remember, we just want to feel that little bit of tension. We don't want pain or extreme stretching. I'm just going to hold it there. And now we should be feeling that on the inside, or sorry, the outside of the leg, all the way down the outside. And inhale, exhale, lift it back up and bring it down. We're going to swap to the opposite leg now. Get hooking that leg or that foot into the band. And we're going to bring it up to that first band of tension. You might find one side is stiffer than the other, that's alright. I'm just going to hold it there. Now we're going to push against it a little bit with that foot. 30% pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, lift it a little bit higher. Again, just the next band of tension. We'll hold it there for a few seconds, settle into the stretch. I'm going to push into it again with 30% pressure for 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. We're going to inhale, exhale, bring it again to your next band of tension. And we're just holding it there for a few seconds, settle into the stretch. And we're going to push against it. 30% pressure for 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and one more. We're going to lift up, and we're just going to hold it here for 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Let it go. Okay, we're going to bring it up again, and we're going to let that foot just fall out as far as we can. Holding onto that band for support. And if you want to bring the stretch in a little bit more, pull the band, your toe closer towards your head. But first, just settle into the stretch. Let you yourself get into the stretch before we start intensifying it as well. Just keep breathing as well. And if you want to bring it a little higher, take an inhale. As you exhale, pull that band closer towards your head. And we're going to inhale. As we exhale, lift it back up and bring it across and over. Again, with this, just going as low as we can. Feeling that stretch down the outside of the leg now. Inhale and exhale, bring that foot slightly closer to you if you can. If you don't feel comfortable doing so, stay where you are. And you can pull a little bit closer if you can. If not, just stay where you are. 3, 2, 1. And inhale, exhale, lift it up and around. Okay. Our next one, we're going to sit up. We're going to keep those legs out in front of us. And we're going to sit up tall. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold forward over our knees, but we're aiming to stretch our neck here and our back. So we're not reaching for our toes. We're going to put our hands by our side and gradually try and drop our elbows to the mat. So big inhale, exhale, we're going to bend over and just drop the head, let it go heavy. You will feel a stretch in those hamstrings. Hopefully they're a little bit more open from the last few seconds there. And aim here, just drop the head as heavy as you can. Let it go. And get the stretch the whole way down the spine as well. You might feel this in your traps across the top of the neck. You might feel it in the middle back. The aim is just to let it fall. Don't hold it up. Every time you exhale, see if you can drop that head a little bit further. If you can, just stay where you are, but really focus on letting it go heavy. Inhale, exhale, coming all the way up. Okay, we're actually going to sit back down, so lying back down. We're going to bring one knee up and across the body, and I'm just going to grab with the opposite hand, and then we're going to bring that hand and knee grab out wide. I'm just going to pull that knee across, and we want to look in the direction that knee is going. So we're stretching our chest here and our glutes a little bit. But if you want to make it a harder chest stretch, you can lift your hand up higher, or if you want to take a little bit ease off it, you can bring it down lower. So up to yourself which way you want to go, but we want to keep that opposite shoulder in contact with the mat. So there's no point being up here with your shoulders up. So if it means you have to go here, keep your shoulder in the mat too. And breathing, letting that knee fall as far as it can. And inhale, exhale, coming around, extend out that leg, opposite knee is going to come up, reaching with that hand, then come across and pop that other hand back out flat. Looking in the direction of this knee. And again, if you want to intensify the stretch in your chest, bring your hand up slightly higher, but make sure we're keeping that shoulder in contact with the mat. Keep breathing as well as you relax into this. Three, two, one. Let it go on around. Okay. You're going to bend our knees and lift them up. We're going to keep our back pressed into the mat. So our back should be flat against that mat. And we're going to lift one leg out, extend it, and swap it over to the opposite side. Extend. So breathing through each one. Back is pressed into the mat. Our back should not be rising during this. Core should be engaged. You might find a bit of clicking in the hips. That's okay. That's normal. Five, four, three, two, and one. And let them down. Okay. I'm going to hop onto our side here. And we're going to bend our knees and have them stacked. Ankles on top of each other, knees on top of each other. We're going to lift up as high as we can and slowly lower. Don't want to rotate back here. Just want to stay on that. Nice tight core, keeping ourselves stable, and we're just lifting up as high as we can and slowly lowering. Lift up, inhale, lower. Four, three, two, and one. Now I'm going to swap onto the opposite side. And knees are bent and ankles are stacked. I'm going to exhale, lift up, inhale, lower. And back down. And just as high as we can so we don't rotate back. Might find one side's easier than the other as well. It's alright. Four, three, two, and one. And lower down. Okay, we're going to come over into our box position. So we want to make sure on our hands and knees, straight line from our shoulder to our wrist and our knee to our hip to our knee. And we're going to put one hand up at our temple. I'm just going to rotate up as high as we can and come back down. So rotate all the way around and back. Breathing through each one. Exhale, lift up, inhale, lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, gonna go onto the opposite side. So again, up as high as you can and back down. Tighten as much as you can. Up and back down. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Back. Okay. We're going to step 1 foot back. And from there, we're going to tighten our core and we're going to lift that heel up towards the ceiling. Pushing up. We don't want to be extending and bending our back here. We're actually just pushing towards the ceiling. Up. Squeezing that glute to engage it. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Breathing through each one. Again, we're not overextending. Nice straight line. Keeping it going. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll let down for a second. We're going to go on to the opposite side. So lift out again, straight leg. Lift up and push heel towards the ceiling. Lift up, inhale, lower. Again, we don't want our back to arch here. We want a nice straight line. We're pushing up towards the ceiling and slowly lowering. Keeping in control with each rep. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back down. We're going to bring that first leg back out. And this time we're going to bring it out the side as far as we can and back in. So to the side and back in. Again, we want to keep it straight, as square as we can in our body. And the movement is just through the leg. We're not arching our back or swinging from side to side. We move our leg out as far as we can and back in. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down, up to the side. Again, step out, that leg out as far as we can and back. Exhale out and back in. We're not trying to bend into it, we're trying to just make that movement through our leg, push out and back in. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back down. We're going to sit back onto our heels and pull our hands forward into little child's pose. So if you want, you can reach and pull those hands forward, or you can just relax where you are. And walk your hands over to one side. Bring it back to center. And now to the opposite side. And back to center. And we're going to come forward onto our knees, hands either side of the body, press up, just as comfortable for you, and look up towards the ceiling. And we're going to lower ourselves back down, grab one foot with our hand and just pull that heel in towards the bum as much as you can. If you find it hard to reach it, you can actually grab your band and hook it around and pull it towards you. If you want to make the stretch a bit more tense, you can go to the off, grab the opposite hand. And we're just aiming to get our heel as close to our bum as possible. As I said, if you need to, you can actually hook it with the band and pull in that way. I'm gonna let it go. Let's swap it over. Bring the opposite foot up again. Grab with the same hand with the opposite hand or use the band. And just bring it as close as you can. Three, two, one. Let it go. We're going to come back up into that box position. We're going to go bring one knee forward, one knee back. Get our upper body up tall. We're going to squeeze that glute from behind and we're going to gradually push our toe over our knee and step back off it and push back. So making sure that front foot is planted, we're not leaning forward into it. So nice upper body tall. What we don't want to be doing is going up onto the toe, we're going over. We just want to move as much as we feel we can while keeping that foot fully planted and pushing back off. Open up the hips one last time. Four, three, two, and the last one, we're going to bring it down, we're going to hold it into that stretch, and we're going to interlock our fingers and just lift up as high as we can. Use your core to keep yourself balanced here. Pushing those fingers towards the ceiling if you can. If you can't get up that high, just push them out in front of you. Three, two, one, let it go. Let's swap to the opposite side. So again, one foot forward, one foot back. We want to squeeze our glute from behind and we're going to push forward and come back off it. Again, we're just going as far as comfortable and making sure that front foot is flat when we're doing this and our upper body is tall as well. Open up the front of that hip. And we're breathing through each breath here, pushing forward and coming back up off it. Four, three, 2. And the last one here, we are coming forward into it, going to interlock those fingers, lift up overhead, just hold it there. You might find the stretch is a little bit more intense when you lift the hands up, that's alright. Three, 2, 1, let it go. Bring it down back to that box position. What we're going to do is we're going to pop up and going towards the air. So I'm going to have downward dog if you do yoga. And what I'm going to do is we're going to take a step back with our hands and step back. Try to keep an leg as straight as possible. If you do need to bend your knees, don't worry. Step back. And when you get to the point where you cannot step back any further, you're just going to hang. So let them loosen out, let your back hang, head hang. Decompress the spine a little bit. Now let yourself go completely heavy here. Stretching out the whole spine as well. And then from there, we're going to gradually bring ourselves back up. One vertebrae at a time, stacking up nice and slow. Making ourselves move through it. Imagine you're popping one vertebrae at a time up on top of each other. Now we're going to interlock our fingers and lift them up over our head. Push towards the ceiling. When we get up to the top. And lean them over to one side. And if you're struggling with this, you can have one hand down and just slide down the side, get stretched that way. I'm going to bring it up to center. And over to the opposite side. Bring it back to center. Let it go. And you're done, guys. Well done.